So my name is Peter Thomas and I'm Director of Strategy and Growth at CDI, the Conversation Design Institute here in Amsterdam. And I'm here with Hans van Dam, who's CEO of CDI. And we're going to talk a bit more about conversational capital and one way that organizations make conversational capital visible, the capital ledger. So Hans, tell us a bit about what that is.
Yeah, so the capital ledger is like if every conversation, like we said, is a deposit or a withdrawal. You've got conversational capital, you've got your trust ledger. Every interaction that you have with a customer is either a deposit or a withdrawal. And you can, this is in a way a concept, but you can make it very tangible very easily. And what you would do is actually sit down, look at some historic conversations that you have with customers and just look for little identifiers. Is there, a loop? Is there a contradiction? Is this a deflection on our end? That's all the withdrawals. And was this, did we provide the right answer? And did we give the customer the confidence that it was the right answer? And that we did something positive? Did we do something positive? It's a deposit. So you could go over historic data and just look for these markers and say deposit, withdrawal, and you really create a ledger. And conceptually, that's great, but it gives leadership all of a sudden language and data to work with to talk about the investments, the return on their AI investments. Your CFO is going to get interested now because you're spending all this money on AI in CX, but are we doing a good job? That's what we said. The dashboards don't tell that story, but once you really treat it as a trust ledger, a deposit and withdrawal, and you track that, also you have a very different story to tell internally.
So people spent years building these dashboards, right? I mean, complex dashboards, tracking things like containment, handle time, all of the metrics. The idea of a ledger sounds very simple, but what do you need to do to start running a capital ledger?
It's about culture internally, to just say, this is how we look at this. Capital, it's an asset that should be on the balance sheet. So rather than thinking of it as an automation project, think of it as you're a steward of capital in your organization, conversational capital. And the way we want to look at that is through this trust ledger. So develop that culture, that mindset around it, and talk to people around it, about it that way. And then go over these interactions and just write down, are we doing more deposits than withdrawal? And as you're doing that, and as you develop that internally as a shared language, you probably eventually, start developing some dashboards around it, but that's not the goal right now. You don't want to create a quick dashboard that nobody's going to look at again. The idea is to think about the relationship with your customers through the framework of conversational capital, because you create a better North Star for the entire organization. You create a new banner for the organization to rally around. I think that's the key thing. And just by, having that ledger, looking at interactions and just say, was this a deposit or a withdrawal, is a great first step.
Yeah, so you've said agentic systems make this stuff more urgent, not less. I mean, most people would assume that the smarter an AI gets, the less measurement you need to do, but plainly that's not true.
Absolutely not, because you're going to have something you do not fully control have a lot of power over the relationship with your customers. So are you just going to set it free and forget about it? That's a very dangerous thing to do, because all of a sudden, a lot of your value in the customer relationship is generated by this agentic system. So you need to be on top of it and measure that and really understand what's happening and start different questions about what you want it to automate. It's not about can we automate it? Should we automate this? Will it actually create conversational capital or slowly erode it? And those are the types of questions that leadership should be asking. And the easiest way to do that is to just think of it as a ledger and think deposit, withdrawal, and then start making wiser decisions around this.
All right, great. Thank you, Hans. So the capital ledger is a really important part of conversational capital and a very practical thing that, we can talk about. So if you want to learn more, you can visit us at CDI. You can read Hans on Substack in his Power to the Poet Substack, and you can look out to get yourself on the wait list for the Conversational Capital Summit in April 2027 at Norsken House in Barcelona. But for the moment, Hans, thank you.